Have you ever walked by an enchanting window display and thought, I wish I could recreate that in my own home? Well, today we are taking inspiration from those dazzling department store displays, and we are transporting that into my home. We're going to be decorating my foyer. I love decking out my foyer to the hilt every single year because it's the first wow moment that people receive when they come to your house. So I really want it to make an impact. It also gives them a glimpse into how the rest of the house is going to be decorated. I have a 2-story foyer, and we have a very large wall mural with box moldings down below. Because I don't want to damage this wallpaper mural in any way, what I've done in the past is hang things in front of the wallpaper mural. Last year I got some semicircle ornaments and I draped those down in front of the wallpaper. That way we didn't do any damage to it. So this year we still need to do something grand that's going to take up that space, but we don't want to put anything on that wallpaper. So I thought, why don't we do a very grand arch that you might see in a department store, and then we're going to fill it up with all kinds of ribbons and ornaments and wrap it in a garland and just make it shine. Now I have a party arch that I use all the time when I have parties. It's over 7 feet tall and it's from Amazon, and it was only $29.99. And let me tell you, I have definitely gotten my bang for the buck from this party arch. So what we're going to do is add it to some urns. I have some large urns and I actually used these last year. Right here in my niches, I made the lampposts, and to hold the lampposts up, I used a pipe. And I put some great stuff foam around the pipe to hold it in place. Well, I have since cut that pipe, but we still have it down in the base. So what I did was I took the ends of each of the party arch and I put it into the pipe. That way my party arch goes all the way down to the bottom of the urn, and it is very secure. Another thing that I love about these urns is that it adds an extra 1.5 to 2 feet of height, and also it's much prettier than having just the metal go all the way to the floor. We are going to wrap this party arch in a garland. Now I didn't have one that was long enough, so what I did was I took 2 garlands and I attached them together to create one long garland. This is a pine garland and also a flock garland that I interspersed. To give our garland much more detail and to make it big and beefy, what I'm going to do is take that champagne leaf garland that I have used right here on my mirror garland. I've used it on the fireplace mantle and on the Christmas tree, so we definitely need to add it to this foyer garland. I purchased it at Hobby Lobby. It's $14.99, but it's 50% off, which is a great deal. So I picked up 2 of these champagne leaf garlands. And all I'm gonna do is just intersperse the leaves with the garland branches. The leaves are wired, so it's really easy to intertwine them amongst the pine branches. These leaves add dimension, sparkle, and color, and they definitely bulk up our pine garland. Instead of using floral wire to attach my garland to the party arch, I'm going to be using some zip ties. These zip ties are from the Dollar Tree, so they're very affordable, and all I'm gonna do is take the zip tie, wrap it around the garland and the party arch, and then pull it tightly. I'm adding several of these zip ties to tie the garland to the party arch. This was an easy way to attach the garland to the arch. It's very secure, and since we did so many of them, I know that the garland will stay in place all season long. Besides the champagne leaf garlands, another element that we have used in multiple areas in our decorating are these gold beads. Once again, I have them on my mirror garland. I have them on my fireplace garland, so we definitely want to bring these gold beads into this garland. Now I purchased these gold beads at Target. They're super affordable. And the way I hung these beads on my garland was asymmetrically. I love the way that that looks. So we're going to do an asymmetrical swag. I took a segment of floral wire, I wrapped it around the end of the strand of gold beads, draped it to the opposite side, attached it to the arch with more wire, and then brought the gold beads back to the other side, and then back to the other side until I had 4 swags of gold beads. It gives our arch and our garland a fancy necklace. and a beautiful detail to the top of the arch, where there would be nothing, so it definitely fills in that space. When I made my announcement about my color scheme and theme for the year, I showed you guys my pretty ribbons. Now in this space, I used this white ribbon with gold detail. It's got pearls and beads and little mirrors, and it has worked out so beautifully in this room. Well, I also showed you this French blue ribbon, and this has this silver detail that is just stunning. This is really thick and it's velvet. It's just majestic. So we are going to be using this French blue ribbon in the foyer, the living room, and the dining room. So what I'm going to do with this ribbon is wrap it around the garland. I started at the bottom and I just wrapped it loosely around the arch. I continued to wrap this ribbon around the garland all the way up to the top and then back down the other side. This intricately designed blue ribbon is from Balsam Hill. It adds a pop of color. It also adds elegance because of the design and texture. This ribbon is a stunning addition to the garland. Another theme that we have running through our Christmas decor this year are these wreaths. I have wreaths on the corners of my fireplace mantle, right where the swag's attached to the mantle. I also have them on my Christmas tree, right at the corners of the ribbons, so we need to use these wreaths in our garland. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby. They are the perfect size, and I love the frosted branches. These are only $5.99, but they're 50% off, which brings them down to $3 a piece. So I have 2 of these beautiful wreaths. Now I'm going to decorate these wreaths in the same way that I did on the fireplace mantle and the Christmas tree, which means I'm going to add some large white pearl picks. I've got 3 of those, and then I also have some frosted gold leaves. And then right in the center, I'm going to take some of this Merry Christmas ribbon. I'm going to cut a segment that says Merry and Christmas. I'm going to place it right in the center and then get a beautiful ornament and place that right in the center, and then wire both the ribbon and the ornament to the bottom of the wreath. Look at how pretty these are. So easy to beautify, and I love this wreath theme. Now, before we attach our wreaths to the garland, we need to create a bow. And once again, I'm going to be using that beautiful French blue ribbon, but I'm also going to be using some white satin ribbon. I'm going to make a couple of loops and then have some small tails hanging off of these bows. I'm going to attach them to the garland with some floral wire. And then I took my wreath and I attached it to the garland right underneath the bow. Once I was finished attaching the bow and the wreath to the first side, I repeated the process on the opposite side. You can see that I'm placing the bow and wreath where the gold beads are attached to the garland. The bow and wreath will hide this area, so you won't be able to see the mechanics of how everything is attached to the garland. These wreaths are fantastic. They're definitely unique, and they add a 3D element to our garland, and the ornaments that hang below are simply stunning. Now, speaking of ornaments, it's time to hang all kinds of beautiful ornaments to our garland. These exquisite ornaments are from Balsam Hill, and you guys, they are seriously some of the most beautiful ornaments I have ever seen. So I'm going to take several of these ornaments and I'm going to hang them on my garland. I'm hanging medium-sized ornaments, clear ornaments with sparkles and diamonds and crystals, finial ornaments, mixed ornaments. These are beautiful. Every single one of them is so unique and detailed. They're going to add elegance to our garland. Because we have gold on a lot of the ornaments, I need to bring in a little bit more gold, and we're going to do it with some berries. I just took a couple of berry picks and added those sporadically throughout the garland. And finally, I'm going to add a few poinsettias throughout the garland as well. We want our garland to feel bountiful, and these poinsettias are perfect for filling in those vacant gaps and making it feel lush and abundant. We are done with our party arch. You guys, look at how beautiful this is. That garland is exactly what this arch needed and what this room needed. All we did was take a very inexpensive party arch and add Christmas touches to it. It feels beautiful, elegant, and it is the perfect focal point to highlight what we're going to put in the center. But it also is fantastic for the high ceilings in this room because our arch is quite tall. And because we decorated it with the champagne leaf garlands and the gold beads and the wreaths, it ties in with the rest of the decorations that we have throughout my home. I think we have a great start to our Christmas department store display. So now it's time to add something to the center, and it's got to be something large. Are you curious? Well, you guys, I have been holding on to this piece for so long, and I am so excited to finally share it with you. And it is this 6-foot tall Santa. He is magnificent. I'm going to put him on top of a styrofoam box, and I'd also like to thank my special helper of the day, which is Blake. He's so kind to help out his mother lift up Santa and put him in place. Now, the reason why I'm putting him on top of a styrofoam box is because we're going to put some items underneath him in just a little bit. But first, let's check out all the details on our Santa. Look at his robes. They are light blue and they're velvet. The glasses on his cheerful face are so intricately detailed. He's holding a lantern with a candle inside and a very pretty bird on it. You can actually light up the candle inside of this lantern with a remote. All you need to do is just press the button and it turns on, and you can also set a timer so it will come on the same time every single night and shine that glorious candlelight. And we know that Balsam Hill has some fantastic Christmas trees, and the Christmas tree that's right next to Santa is definitely no exception. It's got some silver and blue bells on it, pine cones, and a beautiful bird. And you guys know I love decorating with birds, so this was right up my alley. This is one of my favorite Christmas pieces. He is going to be the focal point to our Christmas vignette. Now, I didn't need to add much to this Christmas tree. It was already very beautiful, and we have a lot going on the garland, so we want to keep it a little more streamlined on this Christmas tree. But I did add several more of those beautiful Balsam Hill ornaments to this tree. And because I loved that bird on the lantern and on the tree, I thought I would add a few more of my own birds. I used these clip-on ornament birds last week. I placed a few of these pretty gold birds on my floral arrangement on my breakfast table. I had a package left over, so this tree is going to get 4 of these gorgeous birds. I'm just going to clip them onto the branches, and now our Christmas tree is completely decorated. I will leave links to all of the Balsam Hill products that I'm using today, as well as these pretty crystal trees, which I absolutely love, and the reindeer right behind me on the kitchen island centerpiece. And of course, we have our stunning nativity. And I also have a coupon code for you that is good until January, so you have a lot of time to think about what you want to get and use that coupon code. Now, as I mentioned before, we had to raise Santa up on that foam because we're going to put some pretty little elements down there in just a little bit, but we have to cover up that foam block. So what I'm going to use is a Christmas tree skirt. Now, I have a leftover Christmas tree skirt because I got a new Christmas tree skirt this year that's underneath my Christmas tree right now, but I love this Christmas tree skirt, so we definitely need to use it. This is velvet and it has some pretty pearls on it. And I'm just gonna wrap it around the base of our Santa, and this is going to cover up that foam. If you like one-of-a-kind, unique Christmas decorating ideas, then you have come to the right place. I post new weekly videos on Monday and Thursday, and I have all kinds of fabulous holiday decorating ideas for you. So make sure that you are subscribed so you won't miss out on your weekly dose of Christmas decorating inspiration. One thing that Santa is missing is his nice list. He's got to know where he's going on Christmas Eve. So we are going to create our own custom nice list. And we're going to do it with this thick ribbon. I purchased this at Michael's, and this is actually just in their everyday ribbon section. This isn't Christmas ribbon, this is just plain ribbon. And it is 6 inches wide, so it's really wide, which is what we want. And it's satin, so it's just really pretty, and I love the sheen on it. Now, because this is the Burningham department store display, we need to put Burningham family members on our nice list. And I'm going to do that with my Cricut Maker. So I made a list with all of our names and a few other details on my Cricut Design Space. And then I had my Cricut Maker cut it out on some gold iron-on vinyl. I weeded away the excess vinyl from around all of my vinyl pieces, and then I arranged them on my ribbon. Then I took my Easy Press, I heated it up to 330 degrees and set the timer for 30 seconds. Then I removed my Easy Press and placed it further down the ribbon. I repeated this process by starting the timer. Once the 30 seconds was up, I moved the Easy Press down to the last section of ribbon, and I placed the Easy Press over the top of the last section of vinyl. I'd set my timer for another 30 seconds, and when the 30 seconds was up, I removed the Easy Press, and now I can peel away the protective coating that's over the top of the vinyl. And check it out, now I have a custom nice list with all of our family names for Santa to hold. Well, we're not done yet. We have his list, but we want to turn it into a scroll. So what I'm gonna do is get a white wooden dowel. It was longer, but I cut it into a 7-inch segment. Then I got hot glue and I placed the hot glue on the wooden dowel. Then I took my satin ribbon and I pressed it into the wooden dowel and then wrapped the ribbon around it. Then I repeated the process on the opposite end. I added the hot glue to the wood, pressed the ribbon to the hot glue, and then rolled the ribbon around the wooden dowel. To add some more detail to the ends of our wooden dowel, what I'm going to do is get some round gold knobs. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby and then I painted them gold. I added some hot glue to the end of the wooden dowel and then I pressed the gold knob into the hot glue. I let it sit there for about 20 to 30 seconds until the glue had solidified, and then I repeated the process on the opposite side. I added the hot glue to the wooden dowel and pressed the knob into the hot glue. I added 2 more gold knobs to the opposite end. I just hot glued them in place. These round gold knobs make this scroll a beautiful scroll. Without it, you wouldn't necessarily know what it was, but with the gold knobs, you definitely know what it is. This scroll was so easy to make and it's going to be a perfect addition to Santa. If you do not have a Cricut Maker, don't worry, you can still do this project. Just get a segment of ribbon and then pick up a couple of fabric markers. And then you can just write the names that are on your own nice list and make your own scroll. So now what I'm going to do is just take this scroll and I'm going to let Santa hold it. It's going to drape down the front and show everybody who's on the nice list. So now when the family members walk by, they can remember that they need to stay on that nice list or else Santa's not going to bring them what they want on Christmas Eve. This is the perfect final touch for Santa, and it's also personalized for the Burningham family. Now we have moved to the foyer so we can complete our Christmas department store display. Now we have space on either side of our party arch and we need to fill that up. On this side, what I'm going to do is take some very large gold lanterns, and this is what we're going to use. I purchased these lanterns a couple of years ago at Ross and I spray painted them gold. They are the perfect size. I love them. And to add some extra height, what I'm going to do is get some more of those gift boxes that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I have a whole bunch of them underneath my tree right now. And to beautify them, all I did was get some gold washi tape and I wrapped that around the lid of the box just to add an extra detail. On one of the boxes though, I did add some blue ribbon. We're going to be using some blue ribbon in some other areas because we've got to match our French blue and the blue that's on Santa's robes. At the bottom of the lanterns, we're going to add some frosty snow. I reuse this frosty snow every single year. This is from Walmart and it's under $4, so it's a great bargain. So I just took some of this frosty snow and added a thin layer at the bottom of the lantern. To coordinate with all of the crystal trees that I have throughout my house, I found these cone Christmas trees. They're white and they have these crystal frosted gems all over them. I purchased these at Home Goods. I got 3 of them, 2 tall ones and 1 shorter one. and I'm going to add these to the inside of our lanterns. And then I have one more that I'm going to place on top of a round gift box. We could not leave the top of our lanterns plain, so what I did was I got two different types of ribbon. I have a snowflake ribbon and a joy ribbon, and I looped those together and attached them with some floral wire. And then I'm also going to add some frosted leaves, some blueberries that are from Hobby Lobby, and then a gorgeous Mercury mirrored star to the center. Not only does it beautify the top of our lanterns, but it also brings in a little bit of color over here because all we have is white and gold right now. We do need a little bit of green and blue, and these little swags at the top of the lanterns will draw that color to this side. So now that this side is done, let's move over to the middle. Now the reason why we put Santa up on his box is so that we could add a whole bunch of gift boxes at the bottom. I wrapped 2 boxes in some gold and white Christmas tree wrapping paper, and then I'm coordinating this blue ribbon with our Santa's robe. And the ribbon that I'm going to add is a light French blue ribbon. I simply just wrapped it around the lids and tied it into a bow. And then the white box in the center is going to get a Merry Christmas ribbon around the center. And then I'm going to take a thinner French blue ribbon, wrap that around the box, and tie it into a bow. And then I have a whole bunch of these mini Christmas boxes. They're white, they have a thin ribbon around it, and some of them have a cute little scallop detail on the front. So I'm going to scatter a couple of these smaller gift boxes around the base as well. The lanterns bring a lot of height and weight visually to this side of our party arch, so we needed something over here, but it couldn't be too big because we have to get in and out of the house. But what I do have is this fantastic Santa mailbox. I purchased this a couple of years ago, and last year we gave it a makeover. It was red and now it is white with all of these gold details on it. And in the past, my kids have actually written letters to Santa and put it inside of this mailbox. I definitely think that it is the perfect spot for our Santa mailbox. It definitely adds weight to this side of our display, but it also adds another festive Christmas element. All right, we are done creating our Burningham department store display right here in my foyer. Now, if I were to walk by this display in some department store, I would definitely want to recreate it in my own home. So I am so excited that we were able to do that today. From our fabulous party arch that we wrapped in a garland and ribbons and ornaments, botanicals and beads, to the fabulous focal point, which is our life-size Santa and his fabulous Christmas tree. We've got the lanterns on this side with our sparkly Christmas trees inside, the gifts down below, and of course, Santa's mailbox. We were definitely able to customize our Burningham family store by adding our scroll with everybody's names on the nice list. This is a customizable and personalized detail that you can definitely add to your own Christmas decorations to make them one of a kind. I sincerely enjoyed putting this together, and I absolutely love the way that it turned out. This is by far my favorite time of year to decorate, so hopefully you can see how much love and time and effort I put into these decorations, so you can take bits and pieces of what I do and incorporate it into your own Christmas decorating. So I hope today you were able to get some inspiration or some ideas so that you can decorate your home beautifully during this holiday season. I'm going to be posting new videos on Monday and Thursday until mid-December, so make sure that you are subscribed so you can get your weekly dose of Christmas decorating inspiration. And don't forget to head on over to Balsam Hill and check out all of the amazing decorations that they have on their website, and be sure to use my coupon code to save yourself some money. I appreciate you visiting the Burningham department store today. Thank you so much for watching.